Today we're looking at a team in the Vanarama National League, and we have given them perfect potential for the entire squad, which is a bit of a staple here for the channel. But today, every player except the strikers starts off at 100 out of 200 current ability. The strikers start off with 1 current ability. It's the worst strikers. Can the team rise to the top? Let's find out. Of course, goals are crucial here in world football, and what better way to test that theory than to have a team that literally can't hit a barn door. So Gateshead are the team today, as you can see here. 100 current ability for the entire team, 200 potential ability. Now in the under 18s, we've got the 3 strikers. There they are, 1 current ability, 200 potential ability. Now the strikers have the worst hidden attributes as well. That's another thing that we need to note, because that means they're probably going to fail to improve much. The rest of the players have got perfect hidden attributes, except we've got awful adaptability and versatility, because those are 2. Adaptability is more for playing in other leagues and stuff, but I think there's probably an element of adaptability that helps them change position. So I've tried to avoid any sort of changing of position. So they're going to have to be forced to play those players up front, because there is a transfer ban. And we've put the youth recruitment at -1, so they shouldn't get any youth players coming through that they can then start to play. That's the theory. That's the hope. They might just play some wingers or something up front, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Of course, all the players are locked here for 22 years. They're going to Saudi Arabia in 22 years. So without further ado, let's go to the end of the first season and see what happens. Okay, so we finished 17th in the Vanarama National League, which to me is unusual, because if we've got 100 current ability and 200 potential ability for most of your team, I'm expecting to get promoted. 17th, pretty woeful. Pretty woeful indeed. Gareth Ainsworth's here and in charge. Right, let's have a look. Well, there you go. The 3 strikers have been brought up into the main squad, and look at that. They're all playing. Wow, Gateshead centre forward 1 has improved to 2 current ability. Ooh. Everyone else is in the 1-teens. 111 is the worst, then we've got 112 for the sub goalkeeper, then we've got 115 for a central midfielder, 119, 120. Now 120 might be the hard cap that you get for the Vanarama National League, based on the training facilities and based on the league level. It certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Because we've got 9 players here who are stuck at 120 and 3 at 119. So I'm not expecting them to get much further than that, to be honest. And if we take a look, let's go back to position. We've had 2 goals from the strikers all season. Centre forward 1 scored once, and centre forward 2 scored once. Centre forward 3 failed to net in 36 appearances. This is what we came here to see, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what we wanted. And we're going to potentially see Gateshead flounder despite having some really good players here. Now, the rest of the team should, in theory, be able to carry them and get them to at least a playoff run. Now, because if we look at the Media Dream 11, the entirety of the team, apart from the strikers, is a Gateshead player. We've not given them the biggest squad either. I've stripped it back. Usually I do a squad of 24, I think it is. Like basically 2 for every position, and a couple of players that are a bit versatile. Like an extra centre-back, an extra couple of central midfielders or something. But I've stripped a few of those extra players away, so we don't have the ability to retrain. Now, of course, Gareth Ainsworth plays wing backs, and he's resorted to making wing back lefts and wing back rights for some of the players. Now they have been retrained in that capacity, but no one's been retrained as a striker, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And if you look over the team in terms of the average rating, just over here on the right hand side, I am in the way. Let's move the average rating. Let's put the average rating, put it in there. Make it a bit small. Doesn't need to be that big, does it? Oh, right. Okay. Right, whatever. Average rating, I'm going to put it in there. Look, I've just had to mess around. I might leave some of that in. When you're moving these around, it's a pain, isn't it? Can be anyway. But if you look at the average rating, a lot of them have got north of 7, or at least in the very high 6s. The worst player is 6.88 for left back. Now, the strikers, a 6.26, a 6.33, and a 6.17. Pretty abysmal. So that's probably going to be the thing going forward. Will he get in the 5s in a season? Remains to be seen. Let's go forward to 2025 then and see how they did in the second season in the Vanarama National League. Okay, we have made a playoff run. We've made a run into the playoffs, and we lost in the playoffs. We didn't even make it to the final. We got knocked out in what can only be first round against Woking. There we go. So we're out against Woking. York have gone up with Crawley. Gareth Ainsworth is still here and in charge. We've got very little money. Got minus 1.3 million. Season preview thought we were going to go up and dominating in dominating fashion. So Gareth Ainsworth is very lucky to be keeping his job in reality. In terms of the senior squad, then once again we have players here. So our winger, the Gateshead winger, has not played all season, so he hasn't got an average rating. We've got over 7s for the majority of the team. Again, we've snuck over 120, so maybe 120 wasn't the cap, but everyone's sort of at 120 and between 120 and 124. Now, centre forward 1 has actually improved to 7 current ability. Is his hidden attributes improved? No. I'm very impressed at that. He's managed to improve up to 7 current ability. Centre forward 2 is at 3, and centre forward 3 is still at 1 current ability. 5 goals for centre forward 2 as well. And centre forward 2 and centre forward 3 both got a 6.35 average rating, 6.28 for centre forward 1. So the rest of the team is carrying Gateshead, and it's just the goals that are just not there. Very low scoring games, lots of draws, lots of 1-1s, lots of 1-goal defeats as well. So there you go. Still not having the best of time of it, but we will persevere. I'm sure we're going to get promoted at some point, and I'd like to think that, well, I say at some point, if it takes too long, these players are just going to get sort of stuck where they're at. Let's move on to 2026. This could be a very short video. Wow, we're down in 12th. We are down in 12th. Craig Eastman is now in charge. Gareth Ainsworth got sacked. He's unemployed. After failing to improve the club's poor financial situation, I'll be honest with you, that's really unfortunate because there's nothing he can do. It's just prize money that he's got to sort of work with. So Gateshead are now down in 12th. And I think we're just going to find ourselves just stuck in the Vanarama National League for the entirety of this video. Maybe if we do it again, we start off with higher current ability for the outfield players. But yeah, again, it's the same story all season. Over 7s or very high 6s for every single player. And you got the 3 strikers in the low 6s. And now 8, 7 and 1 current ability. Centre forward 3 has not improved 1 attribute point. 5 and 15 determination. 3 goals for centre forward 2. No assists for any of the strikers. 5 goals between them. How many goals did we score all season? 36, 36. We got 45 there. Look at that, 29 goals conceded. So we're not conceding loads, but we're not scoring many at all. 39 in the first season. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That is where we're at. We're still climbing ever so slightly here in the Vanarama National League. At 127 for some of the players, but a lot of them are, well, it's a very small cluster, isn't it? Between 120 and 128. And they're not improving anywhere near like they should be. With model citizen personalities and at this age, they are, of course, playing at a level too low for them. If they were up in like League 1, they'd be flying. They'd probably be up at the 140s, 150s by now. Well, at least 140s, 150s would be the championship, wouldn't it? Anyway, on we move to 2027. As I say, this one, going to be a quick one. Okay, we've won the league. We have won the league. No one's in the top goal scorer charts, but look, 3 players in the top average rated players. The top 4, 5 of the top 6, and then we've got another 5 in the top 15. So we've got what? 10 of the top 15 are all our players. We've won the league. Craig Eastman's absolutely bossed it over here. Oh, look at that. Centre forward 2 is now up at 12 current ability. He is flying, ladies and gentlemen. Centre forward 1 is at 10. Centre forward 3 is still at 1. Although centre forward 3 got 4 goals, actually played loads this season. And because they've got 2 strikers that they're playing, they're having to play 2 of these rubbish players. And they certainly are. Look, you can see the appearances certainly racking up. Now, we've got a player here at 133, and we've moved into the 130s. 134 down here. So I like to think, they're 21 years old now, so the ascension for progression is going to go down. I don't know how much we're going to improve in League 2. Are we going to be able to get promoted from League 2? I'd like to think so. If you win the Vanarama National League, you should be in a good position to go up. And our players here are far too good for League 2, bar the strikers. So who knows? Let's go and find out if we do get promoted from League 2. Oh, we did. Yes, we did. We have been promoted from League 2 on goal difference. That is insane. I can't even believe it. I mean, look at the average rating. He's got the top 3 players once again. Sorry, the top 6 players this time, and then 8th and 9th. So 8 of the top 9, then a couple more We've got 10 in the top 14 players. Again, the centre forwards, they're improving. They are doing much better here. They're in the sixes and they're moving up to nearly 6.5 for average rating. Who's Brian Ryan? Brian Ryan. Oh, they've got youth recruitment now at 1. They've got some youth academy. That's probably why they've plunged themselves into debt, because they've bought a youth academy. I hoped that wouldn't happen. But, okay, so we might be getting strikers that come through. So, the rest of the players, we've got 145 for the goalkeeper. I mean, realistically, 145 for a goalkeeper is pretty decent. You know, borderline quality for the Premier League. I mean, a lot of these players here, 22 years old, maybe not quite good enough for the Premier League or Champion. Definitely good enough for the Championship. I mean, you could have this guy in the Championship. I mean, you'd play him in lower level Premier League team. At 22, with the potential he's got, you'd be like, oh, give him some game time. Hopefully he's going to improve a bit more. And he probably would. He's absolutely dominated here in League 2 in terms of these players. 3 goals all season for the strikers. The fact that we've gone up on goal difference, for me, is just absolutely laughable. We scored 62 goals. That's a hell of a lot of goals to score for a team that's got no strike force. It's the wingers that have done it. 15 for left winger 1, 12 for right winger 1, 13 for centre mid, 10 for the winger as well. Yeah, so we've really chipped in elsewhere, helped them out. Just 1 goal apiece for all the strikers. Okay, right. On we move to 2029. I don't believe it. I genuinely don't believe it. We are going to the Championship. We've been promoted via the playoffs on penalties. So again, the centre forwards are just awful. Now, Brian Ryan, he's not much better, is he? He's played quite a bit this season. 20 games started, 14 off the bench. Where's he played? He's played as a striker. Okay. I mean, it's not that the centre forwards haven't played, though. The 3 centre forwards have played a lot. Centre forward 3 is now up at 4 current ability. The other 2 up at 16. They're really climbing. And Brian Ryan's barely any better at 69. Nice. 140s for most of the team. Now, that's good enough to stay up in the Championship and even push for promotion. A lot of these players, I mean, this is playing in the 140s, you would have them in the Premier League. Almost certainly. Yeah, some of these players are definitely Premier League quality. 160 for the goalkeeper. I'm surprised he's not been capped by England yet. That is definitely Premier League quality. So we've got the Championship to contend with now. Now, the Championship's always very difficult to go up from. I don't think we can go up from the Championship with these strikers. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's go to 2030. See if it does. Now, we finished 7th. That was out of the playoffs. Again, the players, though, the average rating, we have absolutely dominated the average rating charts. We are, the top 3 is all us, and then 5 of the top 6. And then 6 of the top 8. So we've done really well again. Tony Mowbray's now in charge. What's happened to the manager? Craig Eastman got sacked. Why did he get sacked? Due to the club's poor league position. Oh, they were bottom. Oh dear. Hello. Jamie Madison's. Brian Ryan is now up at 88 current ability. He's now, well, he's not really very good either, is he? Jamie Madison's been coming off the bench quite a lot. The 3 centre forwards are not playing as much. It's Brian Ryan that's taken over. He's still crap, which is good. Which helps us out. We're in the 150s for the rest of the team. There are no caps for the goalkeeper. What does the season preview think? The season preview thinks we're going to go up handedly as well. So, a bit awkward that we haven't. Tony Mowbray came in and did a job and it goes up into 7th from the horrific start that we had. So let's have a look at the start. Like bottom. We didn't win until October. And then we did pretty well after that, so fair play. Okay, 2031. Are we Premier League bound? No, we finished 9th this season. Leeds got Europa League football, so they've won the FA Cup in 2031 with Arne Slot as manager. Leeds beat Newcastle 3-1. You've got Ethan and Ranieri wants to leave the club. Still, we've not got the top 3, but we've got 2 of the top 3, and then we've got 4 players in a row, 6th to 9th, that are all in the average rating top 10. Jake Littlejohn is in charge. Tony Mowbray got sacked. I think that's a little bit harsh. Due to the club's poor league position by October. Yeah, so down here. I mean, it's a bad start and then we've got better. But we were bottom last time when Tony Mowbray came in and he got us up to 7th. So I feel like the ascension was much bigger because of, the cluster of positions that we've been in. I mean, here we were down in, worst it was 21st, but when he got sacked, probably would have been around here, 18th, and they've only finished 9th. So I don't know, not too sure about that. Right. Oh, Okay, so loads more games this season for the strikers. We're up at 20, 22 and 6 for their current ability. Centre forward 2. The other geezer's gone. Can't remember his name. He has gone. I'm not too sure what this guy's been, why he's made 9 substitute appearances. Maybe we just needed him because of injuries. Not too sure, but centre back 4 at 149 has only made 9 appearances. And at 41 current ability, he's made 9 substitute appearances. So, okay. In the 6.4, 6.37 and 6.39. So not very good for the strikers. No goals at all this season in the championship for our strikers. 22 for central midfield though. Centre midfield 2, sorry. 11 and 10 for winger 1, left winger 1 and right winger 1. And the players are in the 150s. 170 for the goalkeeper. Has he been capped yet? Still no caps for England. Justice for Gateshead goalkeeper 1. But they're now 25. I think their progression is going to be limited. If we get to the Premier League this next season, we might go up to about 170. But progression will slow drastically over the next few years. So I feel like we might be a mid-table championship team, which is very impressive considering we've got no strikers to speak of. And like I say, no goals at all this season. You'd love to see it. Let's go to 2032. We've won the championship. Gateshead central midfield 2 got 29 goals. Oh, he's been retrained as a striker. He's been retrained as a striker. Okay. He's not in the average ratings, though. I mean, we've got quite a few players there in the average rating, but let's just take a second. Let's look at the squad. Jake Littlejohn. He's retrained the central midfielder, centre midfield 2, to be a striker. We've still had plenty of games for the other centre forwards, though. 23 and 22 off the bench, 28 and 19 off the bench, and then 2 starts and 26 off the bench. 1 goal and 1 assist between the 3 of them all season. That was for centre forward 1. 21 current ability, 23 current ability for centre forward 2. And yeah, there you go. Centre mid 2 is now a striker. So he has got 30 goals this season and helped fire us to winning the championship and get us up into the Premier League. Of course, all the players in the 150s, 140s and 150s. At 26 years old, I think we will improve again. Have we got enough to stay up in the Premier League? Again, with no strikers. The problem is with centre mid 2 being a striker, he will now play up front. Jake Littlejohn plays a 4-4-2 though, so he's going to be playing alongside someone. Let's see. 2033. Not only have we survived, we've kind of thrived. We are 8th, just outside of Europe, and had Fulham and Crystal Palace not got Europe, and Brentford, we would have had a European place almost certainly if one of the big teams had won a trophy. Fulham have won the FA Cup in 2033. Crystal Palace have just won the Europa League in 2033. Brentford have just won... Jake Littlejohn's in charge of Brentford. Brentford have just won the Conference League for the 3rd time in their history. Who's in charge for us? Enzo Maresca. Jake Littlejohn got sacked. Why? Due to the club's poor league position on the 20th of the 11th. Right, let's have a look at past positions. Again, so harsh. Never even in the relegation zone. Lost to Liverpool and that was it. That was his nail in the coffin. And then Enzo Maresca's come in and steadied the ship, and we've been 10th all season, really. And we finally finished off in 8th. Karim Konate has... won the golden boot, joint golden boot with central midfield 2. We've got a lot of money now in the bank. We've got better youth recruitment. Enzo Maresca is playing centre mid 2 as the striker. We've barely played the rubbish players up front this season. Barely played them at all, understandably so. You're only playing one striker, just play centre mid 2. He's the best player. We're in the 160s. We've actually climbed into the 160s and 183 for the goalkeeper. 10 caps for England as well. He's finally broken himself into the international arena. And yeah, 8th this season. Pretty impressive. Again, kind of sort of cheated by the fact that they've trained centre mid 2 to be a striker. Bit annoyed that that's happened. Versatility's gone up to 11 as well for him. They're hidden attributes. I mean, versatility goes up as you go older, it appears. Versatility and consistency. So, retraining players as they get older. I suppose players have got to be adaptable, haven't they? When, if they have pacey wingers and their legs go, a bit like Ryan Giggs. He transitioned to become a very, very well-rounded central midfielder. Paul Scholes as well was a bit more holding than bombing on, sort of towards the back end of his career. And there's probably plenty of other examples of players that have slightly bombed. I mean, Wayne Rooney as well. Didn't he go to centre mid for a bit? Anyway, so we're in the 170s for centre back 2, and high 160s for a lot of our players. 128 for the fullback. So he mustn't have played much this experiment. No, since we've been getting promoted, he's not really featured much. Probably featuring more as a substitute. Yeah, mainly as a substitute. He's not been getting the game time. But we finished 8th. Is there a trophy on the horizon? There's possibilities. We're 27. We will still improve a bit. I think we're going to get a handful of players easily into the 170s. We might sneak into the 180s over the next couple of years. Let's go to 2034. There might be a trophy on the horizon. So there's a golden boot, the centre mid 2. In terms of the average rating, we've got a couple of players in the top 10. We've just won, we've qualified for the Conference League. Now, where does the media think we're going to finish? 6th. That means Enzo Maresca's kept his job? No, Xabi Alonso's in charge. Right, what's happened here? Enzo Maresca got sacked on the 29th of the 11th. Okay, what happened there then? Actually, I've not even looked at what the reasoning might have been. Club's poor league position. Okay, I thought that might be the case. Let's just double check where we were then. Again, we lost to Aston Villa. We were 13th. You know, we've come from the Vanarama National League. We finished 8th though this season. Again, this time we have got Conference League football. So Xabi Alonso is going to take us into Europe. Now he's playing a 4-3-3. Again, centre mid 2 is the man. 22 goals, golden boot winner. A handful of starts, mainly substitute appearances for all the rubbish strikers. They are still coming off the bench though, which I do find kind of hilarious. Like, they're just so bad. Oh, here we go. We've got Gibril Sugit, who's got a name, hasn't he? Gibril Sugit. Now, his current ability is 64 and his potential ability is 108. He can play as a striker. He's not very good, but he's had 5 starts and 10 times off the bench. So I think when we've got a formation where only one striker is required, it's going to be centre mid 2 that's going to be playing there. These guys, they're not really having much effect now, but they've been there as strikers and playing regularly as we've got promoted up to the Premier League. We didn't manage to retrain that central midfielder until the Premier League or the Championship. When they won the Championship, that was when they won. He played up front and scored 30 goals. So the damage was done by the bad strikers, but we still managed to progress with a good team around them. So you can win things without strikers, but is there a trophy on the horizon? Is there? 2035, here we come. Right, we're finished 5th. We finished 5th and we've got Champions League football now. Another golden boot with 16. That's pretty abysmal. Ahead of Erling Haaland and Jonathan Tapiero. Got 16 goals. Right winger 1 on a 7.71. He's bossed it. Goals and assists. Doing pretty well. We finished 5th getting Champions League football now. We've won the Conference League. I thought we might win the Conference League. If we're good enough to finish 5th in the Premier League, we are good enough to win the Conference League. And we have. We genuinely have. And of course, we haven't played one of the rubbish strikers here. Played the centre mid up there. We've got Danny Parker, who's coming through. We've got Gibril Sugit still. Barely any games for the rubbish strikers actually this season. So loads of international appearances now for our team. And we're in the 170s. 181 over here. 196 for that goalkeeper. Okay. 29. We might have another year of progression. He might not start going down till 32, 31, 32. So we've probably got another year of progression. We might sneak over 180 with another couple of players. Don't think we're going to win the Champions League. Don't think we're going to win the Premier League. Maybe a domestic cup. Maybe. We'll see. Let's go to 2036. Okay, we finished 3rd. We finished 3rd. We've not won a domestic trophy, but we have finished 3rd. And we are still improving. 183, 181 in the 170s. Okay, 30 years old. I think the writing's on the wall though. I think we're going to start to decline now. We're going to go one more season to 2037 and then we're probably going to start doing slightly bigger jumps. Thing is, because the transfer embargo is until the players leave, we are probably going to fly right back down the leagues, and I wonder how far down we will actually go. Oh, we've just finished 10th. Mikel Arteta's in charge. Xabi Alonso was sacked after just over 2 years due to the club's poor league position, almost certainly, and that's understandable because we've just finished 5th and then 3rd and then now down in 10th. Are we declining? 186 for centre back 2, 181 for centre mid. I think we've sort of held firm. I think we're about to start declining. Not many games at all with the rubbish strikers again, but I think we are on the way down. Let's go to 2038. Back up in 7th, getting Europa League football. Okay, did not expect that. Mikel Arteta's done quite well there. And wow, centre back 2 is still improving. He's up at 190. Centre mid 1 is at 182. So we've even improved from 31 to 32. A lot of our players are in the 170s and holding firm. The goalkeeper is at 200. 68 caps he's got now. Loads of players who are on international duty for England. Loads of them there. No trophies for England though in this experiment at all. I'm surprised that we're actually still holding firm. Now we've got a Europa League that we could potentially go and win. This is probably going to be our only chance for another trophy because the players are really going to start to decline now. So let's go. 2039. Did we win the Europa League? Okay, so we've actually finished 5th and we've got Champions League football. What does that mean? We didn't win the Europa League. We lost in the final to Spurs. An Alvaro Landazuri goal after 5 minutes. We lost in the final. Deary me. Okay. And we're starting to decline now. 189. He's at 181 still. So he's all firm. But 174s. They were at like 175. was slowly starting to decline at 33. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going, and it's going to go quick as well. You know, you're talking maybe 3 or 4 attribute points a season. Let's go to 2040. Did we manage to hold firm and get European qualification again? Doubt it. No, down in 10th. Mikkel's probably gone. Yeah, Thomas Tuchel's in charge. There we go. 185. Yeah, they're dropping. 190 for the goalkeeper as well. We're dropping and dropping fast. Still playing for England. A lot of them not centre forwards, but not playing at all really. Just coming off the bench still a lot, but just it is what it is, isn't it? At this point. So all we've won is a Conference League and won certain leagues on the way up to the Premier League. And I think that's about it. We are probably going to get relegated. So let's go to 2045 when the player's about to leave and see the damage that's been done. So we were here in 2039-40. We finished 10th. The following season, getting Europa League football in 8th. Okay. Then we were 17th. No qualification for the Champions League. So we definitely didn't win the Europa League. Fine. 17th though. 2042-43, 19th. So that means 43-44, we got down to the Championship. We finished 10th. And this season, we've been promoted. How on earth have we been promoted? What's happened here? Oh, the transfer embargo's done. When did I end that? Did I end it a season early? You've got lots of money. I did. Oh, I did. Ended it a season early. Look, they've bought all these players in. Ended it a season early so they could bolster out the squad and go and get promoted. So they have been promoted, right? So we have a little bit of potential success on the horizon because look how much money they've got in the bank. £742 million. They've got a new stadium, the Ben Clark Stadium. Not sure who Ben Clark is. He's a club legend though. He was player for 6 years and a coach, an under-18s coach and a caretaker manager. So he was here for about 15 years. Fair play. Got a stadium named after you, Ben. Happy days. Premier League side. Facilities are up there. And look, £742 million going into the Premier League. We've simulated on it for a few years, of course, as we always do. And yeah, let's go and see. Let's go and see what happens. Only on 7 years. This is where I got to. 7 years. Only 5 hour sim time, so that wasn't too bad, was it? You know how long some of the sims take for some of the other things. Right, Premier Division, let's have a look. Where are we? We're not there. We're not there. That's sad. We've just been promoted again from Championship, and it looks like we've been a little bit of a yo-yo side. So we were here in 2045. We went up, came straight back down. No, went up, sorry. Finished 15th, then 18th, then came down. Just outside the playoffs, got in the playoffs, missed out, won the Championship, came up, relegated in 20th, and then we're now getting promoted from the Championship. So the team has got the club has got £185 million in the bank. They've got £64 million to spend. Sean McGurk has. There's no more trophies. Don't think anyone would have won a golden ball from Gateshead. Nope, they didn't. William Humphreys, Englishman for Barcelona, won a few. But there was no golden balls. I mean, I didn't expect any. I didn't expect any golden balls, to be honest. Did England win anything? England did win a World Cup and a Euros. They won it in 2040. They won the World Cup in 2050. So 2040 is when a lot of our players would have been in that squad. So actually, a lot of our team have gone and won a Euros and a Conference League. Although, to be fair, our players actually getting the Conference League. Our players actually getting the Euros. It wasn't the bad strikers that sort of got them there, was it? They would have filled in and amongst the squad. But that is the legacy that we've left Gateshead in. They're still in and amongst getting up and down from the Premier League to the Championship and vice versa. So, yeah, there you go. That is what happens when you put the worst strikers on a team. Might do this again, but with higher current ability for the outfield players. And I might come back every single season and remove any positional sort of changes to really sort of double down on it. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think to that suggestion in the comments down below. But hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video. Take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you soon.